How's you going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's workshop. We're going on a road trip today. My son is making or cutting up some lumber for me to make a floor for my woodshed. So we're going to head in town and pick up some lumber. When we get into Derek's, I'll show you around the mill and whatnot, show you what he's cutting up. All right, let's go. Buckle up now. So we're heading into town. It's always kind of a fun ride into town, trying to avoid potholes and whatnot. She's a rough road here, but I'm about 40 minutes from town, and we're heading in to see my son. My son has a Woodland Mills sawmill, and he has well, kind of a wood lot, and he was cutting some wood. Also, it was I think some Fiona damage that he was cleaning up there too. Anyways, he had these some logs, and I asked him if he could make me some timber to make a floor. I needed some 2x6 to make a floor in the old woodshed, so he said he could do that for me. So we're heading in here this morning now. We're going to pick that up and load them on my trailer. I got the landscape rake on here. I'm going to land on the landscape rake, so we'll unload the rake, load on the lumber, and I'll come back home, and then I can continue working on my woodshed. So here's my lumber that was so gratefully cut up. Look at that. Anyway, here's his mill. It's a Woodland Mills HM122. And he's got a little winch set up there on the tree. He's got it all geared up here, right? And that's for hauling his logs up on the bed. And he has an extension on his bed too, so he can cut logs, looks like 18 feet long probably. Kohler engine. Nice looking mill. And he milled up this wood for me now. He owns quite a little bit of land here, so he was down in there, got his own wood, so these are nice, eh? I only needed 10 footers, and it looks like there's some 12 and 14s there. This is log arch. Oh, and there's Bridget. Bridget is a sawmill operator too, aren't you?
Yeah.
So now all we have to do is unload the rake off my trailer and load the wood on the trailer, and I can go back home. Well, we're out here today, and I've been slaving away all morning cleaning out this woodshed, or what used to be the woodshed. I took up the floor. The floor was sitting on pallets, and there's a gravel floor in the shed, so I had the pallets on the gravel, and then this old aspenite sitting on top of the pallets, and that was all rotten. So I cleaned that all up. Got a trailer load of gunk right here. And then in here, this is now what was the woodshed. So I want to set down some 2x6 here as sleepers, and then I'm going to put 2x6 down as the floor. So I was going to do some work to try to level up the floor, but I figured there's no sense in that. I'm just going to make the floor level with this sill plate that does two sides of the room, and just put sleepers down the other sides to match up. And then I'm going to put some sleepers through the middle of this floor on grade to hold the floorboards, support the floorboards. So because I'm putting this raw lumber down on grade, what I had planned to do was burn the 2x6s to help them resist rot. If you burn lumber, it generates its own sort of self-defense against rot to help it regenerate. Well, the only way I had to burn the wood was with a little propane torch, and it was going to take me like forever and a day to burn enough wood to do the sleepers here. So instead of doing that, I'm just going to put oil on them. Okay, so we're going to start with this short little piece. It's about 4 feet long, and I'm just going to put a bunch of oil on it. Help preserve it and keep it from, or delaying the rot. Not keep it from rotting, because I still expect it will rot, but I hope that this will preserve it a little bit longer than just putting it in raw. Okay, there's that piece. And that piece is going to go right in here. This guy here now is going to go the length of or the width of the room. So I'm going to oil up this guy and then I'll be back. Okay, so there's my sill along the walls, all ready to go. So, after a lot of work, I've got all the sleeper sills in place. They're at approximately 2-foot centers. So now I'm going to start cutting 2x6 to go across this way to board in the floor. Alright, I apologize for the lighting, but I'm starting here at the door with my first floorboard. So, hey, it almost fits. So I've got 6 floorboards in, going in pretty good. Making a good sturdy floor, that's for sure, and that's what I like. It's quite a little challenge today, put this floor down, because it's so dang hot and muggy, and I look at the floorboard and I start to sweat. So I'm not sure how much more I'll do today, but anyways, if I don't finish it today, I'll be back tomorrow. So except for this little piece that goes in here, the floor is complete. So this is what we have. Along the base of the building here, I put a solid piece of 2x6, the full length of the room. So I'm going to just piece the last portion, the last board in here, because I don't want to waste a full length one, right? Okay, so here's my piece cut. We can fit that in here now. There we go. So what I did was I just tapered this edge here, just so that when I set it in place, it'll flip down, hopefully. You'll see how I make out. Oh yeah, nothing to it, eh? Okay, we'll put a few screws in this guy. So I have one piece left to fill in here, and it's 11.5 inches long, 3.5, well, 3 3/8 wide. 11.5 by 3 3/8, coming right up. So here's my piece, and I shaved that off too, because I expect this is going to be a little tricky to get in. There we go. You shouldn't even put a screw in that. But But you know, if I don't, it'll be popping out all the time, right? I'll put 2 in it. All right, finished. Okay, so that doesn't look too bad. Good solid floor, eh? It's 1.5 inches thick, that's for sure at least. And I have it on the sleepers, and the sleepers are every 2 feet. So I think this will be a good solid floor. It's rough lumber, and it's not all cut the same thickness, so the floor has got some undulations in it. Or not undulations, like ridges, I guess you'd call it. But that's not a big problem because I'm only going to be storing wood in here. So with the rough lumber, the wood, I'm going to be storing the wood probably on end, so the wood won't slide around so much. So it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Don't worry, because I'm not. Well, I'm glad I got the floor put in the lumber shed. Not a wood shed anymore. It's a lumber shed now. That's a big job done. I hope oiling those sleepers that I put right on grade, I hope that keeps them, you know, intact a little bit longer than just putting the raw wood down there. I hope it will. We'll see though how that works out. But anyway, I got to set up a nice good solid floor in there. You can put a horse in there now if you wanted. But I'm going to store lumber in there, and I have to figure out now how I'm going to store it, like where I'm going to store it, what kind of holders I'm going to put to secure the wood or whatever. But anyway, that's upcoming in future videos. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to torture you some more with my lumber shed rebuild. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, thumbs up me. I'm glad you're watching my videos, folks. I sure do appreciate it. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.